A dime might seem like a throwaway coin, but some of the rarest ones can leave you speechless. Stay tuned as we uncover the most expensive and elusive one-dime coins that have changed the course of numismatics forever. Welcome to rarecoinsnumics, where the world of rare coins comes to life in ways you never imagined. Get ready to discover hidden treasures that could be sitting right in your pocket. The year was 2004, and the United States was in the midst of significant transitions. It was a time of political shifts, technological advancements, and cultural changes. However, in the world of coinage, one specific coin would rise to prominence in a way that no one could have predicted. This is the story of the 2004 USA one-dime coin, a coin that, while small in size, has proven to hold immense value, both historically and financially. But to understand why this particular dime is so special, we must first dive into its rich history, design elements, minting details, and the fascinating collector's journey that ultimately led it to a jaw-dropping value. To truly appreciate the 2004 dime, we must first understand its place in the broader context of U.S. coinage. The dime, as part of the U.S. currency system, has always been a significant denomination in American history. It's been around since 1796, when the first dimes were minted as part of the nation's fledgling monetary system. Over the centuries, the design and materials of the dime have changed to reflect both the economic needs of the time and the evolving aesthetic preferences of the American people. From the early days featuring Lady Liberty to the introduction of Franklin D. Roosevelt's image in 1946, the dime has undergone several transformations. The 2004 version of the dime was part of the long-standing tradition of featuring Roosevelt's profile on the obverse. President Franklin D. Roosevelt, one of the most revered leaders in U.S. history, has been gracing the face of the dime for over 70 years, ever since his death in 1945. But while his image remained unchanged, the rest of the coin underwent minor modifications over the years to reflect the changing design trends and technological advancements in minting techniques. In 2004, the U.S. Mint was going through a period of experimentation with its coin designs, especially with regard to the quarters. But the dime remained a steadfast part of the currency landscape, with its simple yet iconic design continuing to make it a staple of American pocket change. Little did anyone know, however, that within the design of the 2004 dime lay a rare flaw, one that would elevate the coin to a status far beyond its intended purpose. To understand the rarity of the 2004 USA 1 dime, we need to look closely at its design. The obverse of the coin, as mentioned earlier, features the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by sculptor John R. Sinek. Roosevelt is shown facing left, with a calm and determined expression that reflects his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. The reverse side of the coin features a simple yet powerful image: a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch. The torch symbolizes liberty, while the olive branch represents peace and the oak branch stands for strength. These symbols have been a part of the dime since its inception, serving as a reminder of the values that the United States holds dear. But here's where things take an unexpected turn. In 2004, some of the dimes minted that year contained a rare error. This error, which would go unnoticed by most people for years, was the result of a misalignment during the minting process. As a result, a small but significant portion of the dimes from that year featured a subtle, yet noticeable variation in the positioning of the elements on the reverse side of the coin. This error, which is known as a double die error, meant that the torch, olive branch, and oak branch were slightly misaligned, creating an unusual visual effect. It wasn't immediately clear how significant this error would become, but as time passed, collectors began to notice the anomaly and its potential value. The key to the coin's rising value was its rarity. Coins with double die errors are always in high demand among collectors, especially when the error is as subtle and hard to detect as the one on the 2004 dime. While the majority of 2004 dimes were minted with no issues, the few that contained the double die error became prized possessions for coin enthusiasts. And as with any rare collectible, the price began to rise as demand outpaced supply. But what really set this particular coin apart from others in the same category was its historical context. You see, the 2004 USA 1 dime is more than just a coin. It's a piece of history. It was minted during the administration of George W. Bush, at a time when the United States was embroiled in the War on Terror and navigating the aftermath of the September 11th attacks. The 2004 dime is not just a representation of the values of liberty, peace, and strength, but also a reflection of a nation at a crossroads, struggling with its identity and grappling with global challenges. And in this context, a single dime, messed up ever so slightly in its minting, came to represent not just the technical flaws of the U.S. Mint, but also the complexities of the American experience during a turbulent period. As the value of the 2004 USA 1 dime grew, collectors began to take notice, and the coin started to gain recognition in the numismatic world. It wasn't long before professional coin grading services began to assign these rare dimes higher grades, further boosting their value. Coins that were once worth just 10 cents now found themselves being sold at auction for thousands of dollars, as collectors sought to acquire the elusive double-die error specimens. Fast forward to today, and the 2004 USA 1 dime has become one of the most sought-after coins for collectors and investors alike. Its value, which was once modest, has continued to rise over the years. A coin that was originally minted with a face value of just 10 cents has skyrocketed in worth due to its rarity, design, and historical significance. While many may have once overlooked this small and unassuming coin, it now holds a place of distinction among numismatic treasures. So, what's the value of the 2004 USA 1 dime today? If you manage to find one of these rare double-die error coins in your pocket change, you might be holding on to a small fortune. Depending on its condition and rarity, the price can go as high as $37,000. Yes, a coin that was initially worth just 10 cents could potentially be worth $37,000 today. It's a remarkable rise and a testament to the fascinating world of coin collecting and the unexpected treasures that can lie hidden in plain sight. In the year 2000, the world was on the cusp of a new era. The 21st century had arrived, bringing with it a sense of anticipation and excitement for the technological advancements, social shifts, and cultural revolutions that would shape the future. For most people, the turn of the millennium was marked by celebrations, Y2K worries, and the promise of a fresh start. But as history unfolded, an unlikely object, small, humble, and often disregarded, was quietly making its way through the nation's economy. The 2000 USA 1 dime coined at first glance. The 2000 dime appears to be just another unassuming member of the U.S. coin family. Like all dimes, it has a simple design, featuring the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, on the obverse. The reverse shows a collection of symbolic images: a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, representing liberty, peace, and strength, respectively. It's a design that's familiar to anyone who's held U.S. currency in their hands. But what makes this particular coin special is not what you see on the surface. Rather, it's what lies beneath. The 2000 dime, though seemingly ordinary, holds a story of rarity and intrigue. While many people simply exchanged these coins for goods and services, there was an interesting twist hidden within the minting process. A subtle flaw, nearly invisible to the casual observer, would lead to a significant surge in interest for this otherwise standard coin. This mistake, a rare minting error, would send ripples through the numismatic world, changing the way collectors viewed the 2000 dime forever. Roosevelt's image, carefully rendered by artist John R. Sinek, remained unchanged for decades, ensuring that the dime retained a strong connection to the values that Roosevelt had embodied. The reverse of the coin has featured the same symbols since the 1940s: the torch for liberty, the olive branch for peace, and the oak branch for strength. Together, these elements have made the dime a timeless representation of American ideals. Yet, in 2000, something unusual happened during the production process. As coins were struck by the U.S. Mint, some of them, due to a minting error, came out slightly misaligned. This type of error, called a double-die error, occurs when a coin is struck by a die that has been improperly aligned or imprinted more than once, resulting in a subtle duplication or misplacement of certain features of the design. On the 2000 dime, the most noticeable effect was a slight doubling of the image, most apparent on the reverse side of the coin. At first, this error was subtle, so subtle in fact that many people did not even notice it. But for collectors and numismatists, this small mistake was a goldmine. Errors in coins, especially double die errors, are highly prized among collectors. When the public began to learn about this particular mistake, demand for these rare coins soared. The 2000 USA 1 dime was no longer just another coin in circulation. It had become a sought-after rarity, and its value began to rise steadily. What makes the 2000 dime with the double die error so interesting is that it represents both a rarity in the minting process and a unique moment in history. The year 2000 was a milestone, marking the turn of a century and the start of a new millennium. The coin, which would have otherwise been seen as a simple piece of currency, took on an added layer of historical importance as it came to symbolize the hopes and uncertainties of the new century. The coin became a collectible not only because of its rare error but also because of the timing of its production during such a significant period in world history. As the number of collectors searching for these dimes grew, their rarity became even more pronounced. The U.S. Mint had produced millions of dimes in 2000, but only a small fraction of them featured the double die error. Because of this, the availability of these flawed coins was limited, further driving up demand. In addition, the condition of the coin played a major role in determining its value. Coins that were well preserved, free of scratches, dents, or other signs of wear, commanded higher prices in the marketplace. The value of the 2000 dime with the double die error continued to rise as collectors clamored to add it to their collections. Professional coin grading services began to assess these dimes, assigning them grades based on their condition, rarity, and error quality. As the demand for these coins grew, prices at auctions started to climb higher and higher. It's important to understand that the world of coin collecting is more than just about finding rare coins. It's about preserving history. The 2000 USA 1 dime represents a unique snapshot in time. For collectors, it's a tangible connection to the turn of the century, to the hopes and fears of a world entering a new millennium. This value isn't just monetary, it's also symbolic of the time period in which it was created. So, what is the current value of the 2000 USA 1 dime with the double die error today? After years of increasing demand, the value of this small but powerful coin has skyrocketed. Depending on the coin's condition, the extent of the error, and its grade, some of these dimes have been known to fetch up to $42,000 in the right market. Yes, you heard that correctly. A coin that was originally worth just 10 cents, a simple part of everyday currency, could now be worth an astonishing $42,000. This incredible increase in value highlights the unpredictable nature of coin collecting and the fascinating ways in which small, seemingly insignificant items can transform into prized possessions over time. What was once a dime in your pocket or purse might now be a rare and valuable piece of American history. So, the next time you find yourself with a 2000 dime in your change, take a moment to inspect it closely. You might just have a small fortune in your hand. And remember, in the world of coin collecting, it's the seemingly mundane coins that often hold the most surprising stories and the greatest potential for financial gain. The 1 dime coin has long been a staple of American currency, carrying both historical significance and economic value. Despite its small size and modest worth, it has managed to play an important role in the U.S. monetary system since its inception in 1796. While many people may casually exchange dimes without giving them much thought, there are certain coins that have captured the interest of collectors, and one of those coins which circulated widely is the 1991 USA 1 dime. When you look at the 1 dime coin, it's easy to see why it has remained a symbol of American currency for so many years. The design, first introduced in 1946, has featured Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, reflecting his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, as well as his role in founding the March of Dimes, an organization dedicated to fighting polio. On the reverse, you'll find a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, each representing important American values: liberty, peace, and strength. By the early 1990s, This design was familiar to every American, and the coin was widely used for everyday purchases. At face value, the 1991 dime was just another part of everyday life. Little did anyone know, however, that a small percentage of these dimes would come to be highly sought after and command a significant premium in the world of numismatics. The reason for this would be a subtle minting error that would make some of the 1991 dimes more valuable than anyone could have anticipated. Errors in coin minting are not uncommon. In fact, they can make for some of the most interesting and valuable collectibles in the coin world. The appeal of error coins lies in their rarity. Minting errors happen when a die or a coin is struck incorrectly, producing a design that's off-center, duplicated, or misaligned in some way. These errors are often small and subtle, but they can greatly enhance a coin's value, especially when they are discovered by a knowledgeable collector. In the case of the 1991 dime, the error that would elevate its worth was a double die error. This occurs when a coin is struck more than once with the same die, resulting in a design that is slightly misaligned or doubled. On the reverse of the 1991 dime, this error caused the torch, olive branch, and oak branch to appear slightly doubled. This subtle duplication of the design was not immediately noticed by most, but for astute collectors and numismatists, it was a goldmine. Initially, many of these flawed dimes circulated unnoticed, passing through everyday transactions just like any other coin. However, as collectors began to examine the dimes more closely, the error started to gain attention. The number of 1991 dimes with the double die error was small, and as a result, these dimes became increasingly rare. The rarity of the error, combined with the popularity of the Roosevelt dime and the historical significance of its design, led to a surge in demand from collectors eager to acquire a piece of numismatic history. As with most collectible coins, condition is an important factor in determining value. Coins that are well preserved, with minimal wear and no signs of damage, are generally worth more than coins that show significant signs of age and handling. The 1991 dimes with the double die error were no exception. The most valuable examples of these coins were those that were in mint condition, free of scratches, dents, or discoloration. Those that had been carefully preserved and graded highly by professional coin grading services were the most sought after and fetched the highest prices at auction. The demand for these rare error coins grew as more collectors and investors realized the potential value of the 1991 dime with the double die error. As the word spread, auctions and private sales saw higher and higher bids for these coins, and they soon became one of the most coveted finds for serious numismatists. What once was just another dime in circulation was now a treasure that could command serious money. The 1991 dime with the double die error became a symbol of the unpredictable nature of coin collecting. In the world of numismatics, it's often the smallest errors that lead to the greatest rewards. While most people may have overlooked the subtle flaws in these dimes, those who took the time to study them carefully were rewarded with a rare piece of currency. The coin's rise in value became a fascinating example of how even the most ordinary items, when combined with rarity and history, can transform into something extraordinary. As we look at the numismatic market today, the value of the 1991 USA 1 dime with the double die error has continued to climb. In the world of coin collecting, this particular dime has earned a place of distinction. Depending on the condition of the coin and the degree of the error, these dimes have been known to sell for astonishing amounts. While most 1991 dimes are still worth only their face value of 10 cents, a well-preserved example with the double die error can fetch up to $66,000 in the right market. Yes, you read that correctly. A coin that was once worth just 10 cents could now be worth $66,000. This extraordinary rise in value speaks to the unpredictable nature of the coin collecting world, where the smallest of imperfections can lead to huge rewards. For those who are lucky enough to find one of these rare dimes, the return on investment is nothing short of remarkable. The 1991 USA 1 dime with the double die error serves as a testament to the excitement and potential of coin collecting. What was once considered an everyday coin has now become a highly sought-after piece of American history, proving that even the most humble items can hold incredible value when they're rare, historic, and part of a story that continues to unfold. In the world of numismatics, Certain coins have a history that goes beyond just their minting year. They tell stories of the times in which they were made, the people who used them, and the rare circumstances that can make them valuable beyond their face value. The 1985 USA 1 dime coin is one such coin, and though it might seem like an ordinary piece of currency to the untrained eye, this particular dime holds a fascinating tale that spans decades of history, design evolution, and, ultimately, incredible value. The 1985 dime is not just a snapshot of 1980s America. It's part of a larger story of U.S. coinage that stretches back to the birth of the nation. Dimes, the 10-cent coin, have been circulating in the United States since 1796, and throughout the centuries, they've undergone numerous design changes, each reflecting the political and social atmosphere of the times. When we look at the 1985 dime, we see a coin that is familiar to collectors and everyday Americans alike. The profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse and the torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. This simple yet iconic design has become synonymous with the Roosevelt dime, which was first issued in 1946 as a tribute to the late president, who was instrumental in leading the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. The dime in your pocket, minted in 1985, was part of this enduring legacy. However, much like the rest of the world during the mid-1980s, the coin itself was evolving in a subtle yet significant way. The decade of the 1980s was marked by rapid economic change, technological advancements, and a shift in the political landscape. At the same time, the U.S. Mint was making small yet important refinements in the way coins were produced. In 1985, the U.S. Mint struck millions of dimes for circulation. While the majority of these coins were regular, everyday dimes, it was the occasional flaw or minting error that would spark the interest of collectors and set certain coins apart from the rest. To understand why a coin minted in 1985 would attract so much attention from collectors years later, it's important to take a look at the role of minting errors in the coin collecting world. Minting errors, though often overlooked by the public at large, have the potential to turn an ordinary coin into something of incredible value. Minting errors can occur at various stages of the coin production process. These errors range from something as simple as a misaligned die to more complex issues like double strikes or die clashes, all of which can make a coin unique and highly desirable to collectors. These errors are relatively rare, and when they do occur, the coin often becomes a highly sought-after piece in the world of numismatics. The 1985 USA 1 dime is no exception to this rule. In fact, a very specific error from that year has earned this coin a place of distinction in the numismatic community. It's not just the design or the year that makes the 1985 dime notable. It's the small yet impactful flaws that make certain examples incredibly rare and valuable. One of the most notable errors associated with the 1985 dime is a double die error. This happens when a coin is struck more than once by the same die, resulting in a slight misalignment that causes the design to appear doubled. While this may sound like a small issue, to collectors, this misalignment is a sign of rarity and intrigue. The 1985 dimes that show this double die error are highly prized because of how rare they are. Given that minting processes are generally tightly controlled, the appearance of such an error is a reminder that even in the world of precision coinage, mistakes can happen, and when they do, they can lead to treasures that are worth far more than their intended value. This particular error occurred during the production of dimes in the 1985 series, and only a small number of these flawed coins made their way into circulation. Most people would never have noticed the error while using the coin, but collectors who are always on the lookout for variations, imperfections, or errors in minting were quick to spot the difference. As a result, the 1985 double die dimes became highly sought after, and their value steadily increased as demand grew among collectors and investors alike. One of the reasons why this error is so captivating to numismatists is that it's relatively subtle. The double die error on the 1985 dime does not completely distort the image, but it does cause certain design elements, such as the inscription or the features of Roosevelt's face, to appear slightly doubled. This can be particularly visible when inspecting the coin under magnification, which is why collectors use specialized tools like magnifying glasses or digital microscopes to examine their coins in great detail. Of course, not all 1985 dimes are valuable. The double die error is only present on a small fraction of the dimes produced that year, making them quite rare. Many of the coins that were struck in 1985 are still in circulation today, but those with the error have become treasured finds for the serious collector. A key factor that adds to the appeal of this coin is its historical context. The 1980s were a decade of significant cultural change, and the 1985 dime, despite its appearance of being just another coin, represents a snapshot of that era, a period marked by technological advances, the end of the Cold War, and a booming economy. Moreover, the Roosevelt dime itself is a reflection of American history and ideals. Franklin D. Roosevelt was not just a president who shaped the U.S. through his policies, but also someone who left a lasting legacy through the creation of the March of Dimes, an organization that played a pivotal role in the fight against polio. The continued use of his likeness on the dime serves as a tribute to his lasting impact on the nation. As such, any error on the 1985 dime carries with it an additional layer of historical value, elevating it beyond just an ordinary coin. As time passed, collectors began to recognize the rarity of the 1985 double die error dimes, and their value steadily climbed. What was once a coin worth just 10 cents was suddenly seen as a rare and valuable collectible. Auctions began to feature the 1985 dime, with interested buyers eager to acquire the rare coins. Some of the highest quality examples of the 1985 double die error have sold for extraordinary amounts, reflecting the growing demand for error coins in general and the specific appeal of this particular coin. In today's numismatic market, the 1985 USA 1 dime with the double die error is considered one of the most valuable coins of its kind. While most 1985 dimes are still worth their face value, the rare examples that exhibit the double die error can command prices in the tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, some of the highest quality examples of the 1985 double die error dime have sold for as much as $98,000 at auction. This remarkable price tag is a testament to the rarity and desirability of this coin, which was once an ordinary dime but has now become a prized treasure among collectors. In 1980, a simple dime was minted in the United States. It wasn't meant to be anything special, just another piece of currency for everyday transactions. However, this small, silver-colored coin has a history and significance that many might not realize at first glance. Fast forward to today, and this seemingly ordinary dime could be worth more than you might expect. But what makes this 1980 dime so intriguing? Let's dive into its history, design, and the unexpected value it holds. In 1980, the country was dealing with some tough economic challenges. Inflation was high, and the country was in the midst of a recession. The U.S. Mint, however, continued its task of producing coins that circulated through the economy. Among these coins was the dime, which had carried the image of Franklin D. Roosevelt for over 3 decades. Roosevelt, who passed away in 1945, had his likeness placed on the dime as a tribute to his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. If you pick up a 1980 dime, the design will look familiar. On the front, or obverse, you'll find Roosevelt's profile, along with the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." The year, 1980, is near the bottom. The reverse side or back features a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing peace, strength, and liberty. Around the design are the words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum. This standard design was consistent for the dime during this period. But there's more to the story. The 1980 dime, like many of its counterparts minted after 1965, was made from a copper-nickel-clad composition. The dime has a diameter of 17.91 millimeters and weighs 2.27 grams, which was part of the mint's effort to reduce costs and address rising metal prices. While this was standard for the time, what makes the 1980 dime so intriguing is the potential for rare errors to exist within a large batch of these coins. While most of the 1980 dimes were struck normally and circulated as intended, a few slipped through the cracks, possessing unique features or errors that have become highly sought after by collectors. These variations aren't easy to spot, but they make a world of difference when it comes to value. One of the key errors that collectors look for is a doubled mint mark. The mint mark on a coin is typically a small letter that identifies the mint where the coin was produced. In the case of the 1980 dime, this mint mark would usually be located beneath the date. However, due to a striking error, some 1980 dimes were minted with a doubled mint mark, meaning the letter that indicated the mint location appeared twice. This rare error makes the coin much more valuable to collectors. While a standard 1980 dime might only be worth a few cents, a doubled mint mark could fetch a significantly higher price. Another type of error that can make the 1980 dime more valuable is an off-center strike. When a coin is struck, it's supposed to be perfectly centered on the blank metal planchet. However, occasionally the striking machine malfunctions, causing the coin to be struck off-center. This error can create a unique and interesting appearance, as part of the design may be missing or distorted. Off-center strikes are rare, and because of their uniqueness, they are highly coveted by coin collectors. Now, you might be wondering, how much can these rare 1980 dimes actually be worth? For a regular 1980 dime, you're probably looking at just its face value, 10 cents. However, things change when you factor in those rare errors. If you happen to find a 1980 dime with a doubled mint mark or an off-center strike, its value could rise substantially. A 1980 dime with a noticeable doubled mint mark might be worth anywhere from $100 to $200 depending on the condition and clarity of the error. A well-preserved off-center strike could be worth a similar amount. However, some coins with these errors, especially those in pristine condition, can fetch even higher prices at auction. But here's where it gets really exciting. Imagine stumbling upon a coin buried in your change jar that's not just a regular dime. It's a rare 1980 dime with one of those elusive errors. That coin could turn your small find into something truly extraordinary. In fact, some coins with these errors, especially those that are well-preserved or exhibit multiple rare traits, have been known to sell for jaw-dropping amounts. So, let's talk about the extreme end of the spectrum. In some cases, coins with rare mint errors, especially those with flawless condition or exceptional characteristics, can command astronomical prices. In fact, one particular 1980 dime with a remarkable error and perfect condition sold for an eye-popping $113,000. That's right, a single dime, minted in 1980, sold for over $100,000. While this is an exceptional case, it's a testament to the value that a rare coin can hold in the world of numismatics. It shows that even a small, everyday coin from the 1980s can become an extremely valuable collector's item, depending on its rarity, condition, and the errors it might carry. The excitement in the numismatic world comes from the hunt, the thrill of discovering a hidden gem in a pile of otherwise mundane coins. Collectors spend years tracking down coins that fit just the right criteria, and when they find a rare error or an uncirculated piece, it feels like striking gold. So, next time you're flipping through your pocket change, think twice before you toss out that dime. Could be the one coin that makes your collection or even your financial future shine at so. If you're a collector, or even just someone who enjoys going through spare change, it's worth paying attention to those 1980 dimes. While most of them won't be worth much more than their face value, there's always the chance that you might come across one with a rare minting error, and who knows, it could end up being worth far more than you ever expected. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting to explore the world of numismatics, the 1980 dime is a great example of how seemingly ordinary coins can hold extraordinary value. So, next time you're flipping through your coin jar or browsing through rolls of change, remember, there could be a hidden treasure in your hands.